this is Ryan Aldred from TreeVue. This is a quick demo of the core features of our platform. The core concepts of the workspaces, user management, inviting users and branding of the product. So if you're new to the service, then this should give you a good insight. Right, let's get started. So as you can see here, we're on the home page where you can log in, requiring just your email address and password. This is the main home page with TreeVue branding. This is my.treevue.com, for which there is a log on the main website. But actually TreeVue offers users the ability to customize the branding. You can see on this demo here, I've got a Demo Co Limited sample logo. Obviously that's where you could upload your own logo. And I'll be using this demo site for the remainder of this video. Right, from the login page, if you have yet to register for an account, you click on register for free. When you're prompted, requesting your full name, email address and password, and the obligatory signing up to the terms and conditions. I already have an account, so I'm going to go back to the main login screen and enter my demo credentials. Again, as we log in the top left corner, you can see the custom logo that I uploaded. I'll show you how to do that and add your own logo a little later. Now, as I've logged in here, this is an existing account with an existing workspace, for which you can see the folders there: clients, health and safety, HR, miscellaneous, and so on. This is a demo workspace. Now, a workspace is basically a file and folder repository. So however you choose to use that, it can be as small or as large as you want. It's designed specifically from the ground up to support any number of documents. In fact, we have clients with well over 1, nearing 2 million documents in their repository. Others see benefits in having multiple smaller workspaces, as it can be a little easier to manage from a permissions perspective. Maybe if you're sharing content with clients, you may want one workspace per client, etc. But in short, a workspace is a single file repository for which you can have as many workspaces as you choose. So in this case, you can see that the workspace is actually called Project X. I'm going to take you through the process now of creating a new workspace. So if I go into my account settings page, you can see Project X is listed here. If I click on new workspace, it asks me for a new name. We'll call it test workspace. It shows you below here a direct link to that workspace if you wanted to provide a direct link to anybody. It also confirms that is a valid name. Simply click submit. Congratulations, it confirms that it's successfully created. As you can see here, now I have 2 workspaces, and I also have these little selectors in the corner for me to choose which I want to be my default. A default is a user preference, just basically meaning which one you'll see first when you log in. I want to see my new test workspace when I log in first. Clicking on a workspace gives you a number of sub-menus, including visiting the workspace, so that's to go back to the file and folders, and the members, which we'll look into in a sec, which is to manage the members of that workspace and invite a new user. There's an activity log, so with TreeVue you get to see all activity, every click of every user within your workspace. So a person logs in, they browse around your files and folders, they may download, they may upload, all of that is logged, so you can start to understand your data, how your data is being consumed, by whom, when, what is being consumed, and equally what is not being consumed. If you've got content that actually no one's using that you thought they were, which is just as relevant. You can rename a workspace and delete a workspace. If I quickly demonstrate the rename and delete, I'm going to create another workspace here called Temp Workspace. If I click on that, I can rename it. There it is, new name, and actually I can also delete that workspace. Right, so if we now go into test workspace that we created earlier, visit the workspace. You can also navigate between your available workspaces from the Files menu, which is at the top on every screen. So I've got access to both here. So if we go to Test Workspace, obviously this is empty at the minute, so there's nothing listed here. If I'm going to just now show you how to upload a document to that workspace, I'll show you on my machine here. This is just my local file explorer. I've got some test files here that I'm going to drag onto the workspace. So let's start by creating a folder. This is the Actions menu here. Create a folder. You see it's instantly created this folder, folder A. I can then browse into that folder. I've got 4 photos I wish to upload. You can upload multiple folders at once simply by dragging and dropping onto the desktop. As you see, as I drag the files on, the document upload icon appears, so I need to drop the folders there. As you can see, the files have now uploaded. I've got test photo 1, 2, 3 and 4 there. They're JPEG images. Using this breadcrumb panel along here, I can navigate to back to the root or to the immediate parent folder. So I'm going to go back to the top level folder there. I'm also going to create a second test folder. Folder B. And I'm going to upload 2 further documents to there. There we go, so you can see I've got a PDF and a text file, that's an RTF file there. What I'm going to demonstrate now is the ability to preview documents within the browser. So the benefit of this, it gives you the ability to preview a document before you actually commit to downloading it to your local machine. You can preview PDFs and other common file types such as Microsoft Word documents, Excel, PowerPoint, clear text files, standard text documents, many types of images and so on. So I'll show with this blog archive security matters document here. Wait just a second, and you can see it's now opened that within the browser, so that hasn't actually downloaded to my local machine. That is just a online version within the browser, which I can then zoom out, zoom in, change how it's displayed. And what I can also do is I can download the document if it's a document I want, and if it's actually a non-PDF document, so say a Microsoft Word document or Excel, I can click on the download as PDF, so it automatically converts the document for me. That's a really useful feature if you're downloading a format of document for which you don't have the appropriate local application stored on your machine. So if someone's saved a Microsoft Word document, but for whatever reason you're using a machine that doesn't have Microsoft Word installed, you can still download it for kind of read-only purposes by downloading a PDF version of that document. You can also search the contents of a file and highlight any occurrences of that text string within the document. I'll browse back to the root folder. When using in Chrome, which is Google's Chrome browser, you can also actually upload complete folders as well as individual and multiple files at once. That uses what we call our enhanced upload capability, which is this cloud icon here with the up arrow. This same enhanced upload feature also enables the migration of data directly from other common services such as Facebook, Google Drive, Box and so on, as you can see listed there. That's really useful if you wanted to bring in thousands of files straight from your Google Drive account. You can do that with ease from this screen simply by clicking on Google Drive on the left there. But for the purpose of this demo, I'm going to upload on my local machine. I have this test folder ABC here. So I click and drag that. As you can now see, the test folder ABC has appeared, so we didn't actually have to create that folder. It's taken that straight from the upload. When we go into there, we can see the 2 new documents uploaded. You can rename a document. Simply select the document, choose the rename icon. Then rename document at the top there. If I navigate back to the root, you can download individual files, multiple files, or even entire folders in a single download event. And to do this, we go into folder A. For a single file, you simply click on the file and go into preview as demonstrated earlier. But for multiple files, you select the files you wish to download, in this case 4 images, and you select the download icon in the action bar. If I just change the size of my browser for a second, you can see that downloading. That is a zip file, so multiple files are downloaded as a zip, automatically compressed to improve the speed of the download. The same applies to a folder. If I create another subfolder here, I can actually download the folder and the files, as it says here, 2 files and 1 folder. I'll click on download, and you can see that's now downloading there. That's all great, but to really get the most out of the product, you really want to start sharing your contents, sharing documents and collaborating on content with other trusted third parties, maybe your clients, remote workers, or the internal workforce. And that's really easy with TreeVue. If we go into the account settings page, if I want to invite another user into my test workspace, click on the test workspace and choose invite user. All I need is to provide their email address. That user has now been invited, as the green bar states at the bottom. What we can now do is click on the members option here, and we'll see a list of all the members of this workspace. You can see at the top there's the administrator, which is the account I'm logged in as, demo@treevue.com. And as it says on the right there, I am the owner of the account. And we've also now invited Ryan at ryanaldred.co.uk. And this is a standard user. The difference between a standard user and a power user is a standard user will just have access to the files and folders for which you grant access, which I'll get onto in a second. A power user also has the ability to see the activity log, invite new users and set permissions. Also delete a user here or disable a user using these 2 options here. Now whilst we've invited that user, we haven't actually granted them rights to any files and folders yet. That user will receive an email telling them of the invite and giving them a link to click on, through which they will then authenticate or register for a new account if they're yet to set up a TreeVue account, and go in. But at that point, as it currently stands, we haven't granted them access to any files, so let's change that. So if we go to the workspace, we want to say, actually that user I've just invited, we want them to see folder A and folder B. So if we just start with folder A, once selected, click on the padlock. Here is a list of all the users invited into the workspace, in this case the demo user and the Ryan user. The demo user already has full control. You can see this new user has no permissions currently set on this folder A. So if I click on change, and I say that I want them to be able to download and upload, but not to rename, delete or manage permissions. So updated the text there just to reflect that change. If that user now logs in, as it currently stands, they won't actually see folder B and they won't see test folder ABC. They would only have awareness of folder A. So if this was a client logging in, that client would only see their folder or the folder you've granted permissions. They wouldn't see the other folders. Right, let's now take a look at the activity log. So we click on the workspace, choose activity log. This presents us with a chronological listing of all activity on the workspace with the newest entries at the top. So you can see top right here on the 4th of March at 10:57. You can see that the workspace activity was viewed. These coloured circles suggest who has actually performed the action. In this case, obviously the only person currently using this workspace is me, the administrator. So if Paul Allen used it, then you'd see a PA in the box with a different colour representation. So you can see here, as we did earlier, we set permissions for Ryan Aldred on folder A, so you can see that those were changed. We can see where we invited the new user, the paper aeroplane icon here. Ryan Aldred invited into workspace. We can also see that we downloaded 6 files. That would be when we did the multi-file download. And we looked at 2 folders here. You can actually drill into any of these green entries you can drill into to have to see which 6 files we're talking about. There we go, and the 6 files. As well as which are the 2 folders that we looked at. We looked at folder B and obviously the root folder. You can scroll down and see more information here. So you can see here we renamed a file, so testphoto1.jpg was renamed to new name 001.jpg. That's really quite a powerful tool just to start understanding your users and how they're using your workspace, or if they're even using your workspace. We go back into the account settings page. Now in this example here we have 2 workspaces. We have the Project X and Test workspace. It's easy for a user to jump between the 2. So now I'm using the Project X workspace. I can browse around and view the content in there. And very quickly jump to a new workspace, which is the one we created earlier, Test workspace. It just really makes it easy, especially if you're using multiple workspaces, perhaps a workspace per client or workspace per project. You can quickly jump around the workspaces very easily. I also want to show you the search functionality. This is the ability to search all files and folders in a workspace, not only by file name, but by the contents of the file, as well as the ability to search for text appearing in images and scans, which previously is very difficult. So for example, if you've scanned in some CAD drawings for which it's non-OCR, there's no optical character recognition taking place on that document. As far as the computer is concerned, that is just an image, and it has no awareness of the text in that document. And actually with TreeVue you are able to search for such files. So you take a photo of something, you can then search for its contents quite easily using this very powerful search engine. It also, if you've got 1 million documents in the workspace, you should also expect to see results in just a few seconds. The service has been built for absolute scalability, so don't worry about slow searches. As your workspace grows, that's all under control with our product. And the search is exactly what it says on the tin. Click in the box, enter a string, and there you have it. Found 6 files and folders within the workspace. Obvious examples here. And that search has not just been on the file names, as per the bottom three here that have the word test in their title. It's also pulled out a couple of other documents which clearly have the word test within their contents. And of course we can go in and preview those documents. And if we choose to, this is a PowerPoint document in this example, but we can actually download that as a PDF. As you can see there. As I mentioned right at the start of the video, you're able to customize the logo to meet your needs. Of course, feel free to use the TreeVue logo if you so wish, but it is as simple as dragging a new logo over the branding box here. Or if for some reason you're using an older browser, you've got the upload button there. You can edit your settings, so edit your name using this edit feature here. We've tried to make the service as easy as possible to use, but of course if you have any problems, if you're stuck on something, don't know how to use a particular feature, or actually receive any kind of error, then of course just click on the help option, which is down in the bottom right of every screen. This provides you a very slick and easy to use help service. So if you want to know how to rename a file, type rename there, and you've got rename a workspace or rename a document or folder. Clicking the link provides the full document. If that still hasn't answered your question, obviously feel free to leave us a message. This will raise a support ticket, which we'll endeavour to resolve as soon as possible. Right, so that concludes our short demo. I'd like to thank you for your time. Hope you found it useful. Thank you. Goodbye.